Uh, Welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to all those who came out to see this live. We're here today with Missouri State Treasurer Clint Zweifel.
Perfect.
All right. And we're here as part of SEMO Time's continuing virtual town hall series. Today, like I said, we have the State Treasurer with us. Before we begin, a couple of thank yous, obviously to the SEMO Times for hosting the event, as well as the Wine Rack for giving us this wonderful venue. I'd also like to thank Hildebrand Diamond Company for them helping out with some of the electronics. Without any further ado, we'll jump right into some of the questions. The first one came from Mark Fidel of Fremont, and he asked via Twitter, when I apply for a business loan, what role can the State Treasurer play in helping us succeed?
Well, Kyle, it's really exciting that we have something that actually directly helps small businesses. I have something called the Missouri Deposit Loan Program, and it's a program that really helps small businesses under 100 employees every single day borrow at a lower cost. Helps save them money, puts money back in their pocket, helps them reinvest, expanding for employees, purchasing equipment, making capital expenditures. So it's really exciting that we have that direct link with community banks on the ground every single day. And Mark can actually visit my website at treasure.mo.gov. It has a list of every institution in his community that uses the program.
Oh, wow. Sounds great. All right. Well, thank you. We'll move on to number 2. Butler County Treasurer Jill Humphrey asked via email, what ideas do you have for seeing greater integration between county treasurers and the state's treasurer's offices?
Well, Joe, that's a good question, and it's something that we do here and now right now. I work with all of our county treasurers across the state of Missouri every single day in developing investment policy to make sure that we keep money safe. I think that's the most important role that I can help play, as we can help bring some of our expertise to the county level to help those treasurers and other public servants better serve taxpayers to make sure that their money is safe and that it's liquid and that money is really kept in a lockbox so the taxpayers' money is safe.
Excellent. All right. Number 3, Jason Worley of Poplar Bluff asked via Facebook, you read everywhere that countries like Greece and Portugal are broke. Even states like California are having trouble with debt. With that in mind, is Missouri all right?
Jason is asking a good question. We have a lot of states around us. We have other countries. Frankly, our own country at the federal level right now, financially, is really in disarray. And if their fiscal house is not in order, and Congress's failure to act is compounded that even more so. But what we know is that Missouri is one of 8 states in the nation that still have that AAA bond rating by all 3 major rating agencies. We just got it reaffirmed twice by 2 of the 3 in the last couple months. So that's a great sign for Missouri that we're one of the few states that have been able to maintain that AAA bond rating, stay strong in difficult economic terrain. That means that Missourians, we're making promises that we can keep every single day.
Excellent. All right. State Representative Steve Cookson asked via text, what are some ways in which the state can use state funds to help continue to spur economic growth in the state?
That's a good question that the representative asked. One of the key things that we do is making sure that we're focused on jobs first and foremost as part of that investment. So when we're investing in economic development, I want to make sure and see, Kyle, that we're seeing results on that with jobs. What kind of jobs is that producing? What's the benefit for taxpayers? So that's the first question that we should be asking in all cases. The Link Deposit Loan Program that I run is a low-interest loan program for small businesses. It's a low-interest loan program for farmers. And the great thing about it is the state takes no credit risk, but we're using our resources to actually lower that interest rate for small businesses. We're not picking and choosing winners in this, Kyle. These are businesses that are manufacturing. It's businesses that are hardware stores, pharmacies. It's really a snapshot of Missouri's economy. We're out there on the front lines every day using that, and that's a great example of the way that we can creatively use our resources to leverage jobs and development.
Okay, well, great. Thank you, sir. Peggy Myers of Fair Dealing, she asked via email, with all the cuts to state government, has your office had to make any cuts?
I've cut spending every year that I've been in office. We've cut the number of employees and we've cut the amount of spending total. You have to do more with less. And that's a responsibility of everyone on my team as state treasurer to make sure that we built a culture early on that says taxpayers deserve excellence. And by the way, let's figure out how each and every one of us in our day-to-day jobs do an even better job for taxpayers and do it with less resources. We challenge those employees. We've responded in a big way. They're doing more with less. Just to give you an example, our unclaimed property, there was no online system for doing unclaimed property when I came into office. Now, 55% of our claims are processed without a piece of paper. So when you eliminate red tape and you eliminate bureaucracy, you can do more with less.
My secretary and I actually looked at that unclaimed property site today to see if we had anything out there. I think I'm owed $10 to $40.
Well, you know, that can help out with the bills.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. SEMO Times publisher Scott Fawn of Stringtown asked via email, many Democrats were inspired by your energy after the last election. In fact, some are already touting you as a potential candidate for higher office in 2016. Have you given any thought to what you will do once term limited?
I think the focus has to be on what I'm doing here now as state treasurer. I have responsibilities. I manage a $4 billion portfolio every single day for taxpayers to keep that safe and secure. We're returning $80 million of unclaimed property back to taxpayers. We're making sure that we're making smart investments in agriculture and small businesses across the state that produce real jobs. We're helping families save for college. You know, I have to do those things with excellence. I'm going to go into 2012 asking voters for their support again and continuing to serve as state treasurer. So I think it's really important that politicians don't get ahead of themselves. They focus on their job here and now, try to stay above the fray and focus on the results and what they have ahead of them. And what I have ahead of us is an important job to do. And I am asking to be reelected as Missouri State Treasurer.
Excellent. All right, Charles Hicks of Poplar Bluff asked via email, and this holds true to a lot of us, why is it that Democrats get so few votes in this area?
I think one of the challenges for Democrats is making sure that, you know, we as Democrats in Missouri understand that there's a big difference between what is happening nationally in the Democratic Party and what's happening right here inside the state. And that, you know, Missouri Democrat is somebody who's pragmatic, they're focused on results, they're fiscally responsible, they're interested in doing common sense things that improve the lives of Missourians and create opportunities for Missouri families. You know, the work that I've been doing, Kyle, on helping families save for college, helping entrepreneurs in our state, farmers, get investment capital at a low cost, making sure that we do more with less and we keep the state on a strong course. Those aren't Democrat or Republican issues. Those are just common sense issues. And the more leaders that we have in a party that you know follow those values, I think the stronger the party will be in communicating our ability to do well with the party.
Okay, sounds great. The mayor of St. Louis, Francis Slay, asked via Twitter that his daughter got a great education at Southeast Missouri State University. How does the state preserve quality higher ed and make it better?
Well, I think one thing that we have to do as a state is we have to look at the performance of all of our institutions and constantly evaluate clear ways on what they're doing well, what they can do better, and that's going to be different for every institution. So making sure that we use quantitative data to really evaluate the quality of education that children are getting and the opportunities they're presented. Secondly, we need to make sure it's affordable. I was the first person in my family to walk onto a college campus when I went to college. My dad was a retired carpenter. My mom's a retired hairdresser. And you know, I remember that experience. They didn't know a lot about financial aid and how that worked. They weren't sure about the college application process. But together, you know, between teachers, educators, and my folks, you know, we worked together to figure out a pathway to get there. And you know, that was a combination of student loans, a little bit of savings, me working a part-time job. But when we did that, it created a tremendous opportunity and really opened up a lot of doors. I think that point of access, making sure that access and quality is there, is really, really important for the future. And it is the job driver in our economy.
College.
Exactly. Creating opportunities. And it may not be college, Kyle. It could be a trade school. It could be an apprenticeship program. It might be a community college that does certifications or in a specific field. But what we know is that there's going to be something else that's required beyond high school to help today's workforce. That might be a university degree like the mayor's daughter, and that might be what I have, but it may not be for everyone else. So there's going to be tremendous differences, but the key is that educated workforce, whether that person is going to be a carpenter or electrician, or whether they're going to work in business, ultimately is the key to success.
I see. All right. Poplar Bluff City Councilman Lloyd Matthews asked via email, with all the Ponzi schemes in the investment world, what has your office done to safeguard Missouri's money?
Well, the first thing is stick to a tried and true investment philosophy that really surpasses time and fancy new ways of doing things. The truth is security and liquidity are the most important thing that I can do for taxpayers every single day. So when you do that, you don't put money in instruments that promise some high yield that may never produce it. You stick to safe investments first and foremost. When it comes to Ponzi schemes, I sit on the pension board for the state, the Oceans Pension Fund, and I discovered actually and found out in the board meeting that they had previously made an investment before I took office. They actually indirectly put money with Bernie Madoff.
Is that right?
And I actually released that information to the state because I thought it was important that the public be aware that their tax money was indirectly invested in the Madoff feeder fund. So it's really important that we have the accountability in place to hold everyone in state government and also all levels of government accountable on the investment decisions that they make. But the number one thing that I do in my office every day is stick to a tried and true investment philosophy that's focused on results, focused on safety for taxpayers and liquidity for taxpayers.
Okay. All right. Well, those are the 15 questions that were sent to us, like I said, from all forms of social media. That is the world we live in today, and such is our virtual town hall series meeting as well. I'd like to thank Missouri State Treasurer Clint Zweifel for coming in here and answering some of these questions. You did an excellent job, and I appreciate that our community got to get involved and have a little conversation with you without even having to be here.
Kyle, this is an example of what technology can do that actually brings people closer together.
Yes.
I think sometimes technology gets a bad rap, and people don't understand that we can actually bring people together. And the meetings that we're doing right here and now, the meeting I did earlier with the Small Business Forum, for sure, these are important things. Politicians often want to go into environments where they only hear good news. And the truth is on the ground every day, families and businesses are making tough decisions. We need to know the reality of what's happening. I think that better positions me as a leader